So now it's time for another preview and a top of the table clash that everybody wants to see in the Vanarama National League. Notts County versus Wrexham is the fixture, and to be honest, it's one everybody should be looking forward to. Langstaff versus Mullen. Yeah, it just is what it is at that point. If you are new to the channel, make sure you do like, subscribe, and tap that bell for more notifications as when I do upload. But for now, it's time to check out the Vanarama National League table. So moving on into the Vanarama National League table, we have got Wrexham in first place. 11 games played, 8 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. 31 goals scored, 9 conceded, which puts them on a goal difference of plus 22, which puts Wrexham on an overall point scoring of 26 so far. Notts County currently in second place, 11 games played, 7 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss, 27 goals scored, however 11 goals conceded, which puts Notts County a goal difference of plus 16, which puts Notts County on a point scoring of 24. Now, Wrexham, Notts County. Wrexham have the duo of Mullen and Palmer, and Notts County have the non-league Erling Haaland in Macaulay Langstaff, who's been a phenomenal signing from Gateshead. And honestly, it's hard to even dictate who's going to win this game. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. But now it's time to introduce the Golden Boot race in the Vanarama National League. So moving on into the Golden Boot standings in the Vanarama National League, we have got Macaulay Langstaff from Notts County, also known and dubbed as the non-league Erling Haaland. He's top of the Golden Boot standings with 15 goals. We've got James McShane from Dorking Wanderers in second with 10 goals. Paul Mullen from Wrexham in third place with 9 goals. And we've got Reece Brown from Wealdstone and Ollie Palmer from Wrexham, both joint fourth on 7 goals. Then we've got Andrew Dallas from Solihull Moors, Linnell John Lewis from York City, and Alex Reid from Solihull Moors, all joint 6 on 6 goals, which then puts James Daly from Woking and Nicky Kabamba from Barnet in joint 9th on 5 goals. So looking at them standings, who do you reckon will come out on top of the Golden Boot standings come fast forward to the end of the season? Let me know in the comments section down below. But for now, it's time to introduce the history between Notts County and Wrexham. So moving on into the history between Notts County and Wrexham. Notts County founded in November 1862, whereas Wrexham were founded in October 1864. A question is of where is the game being played? Well, that is Meadow Lane, which has a capacity of 19,841. And another question of where did both teams finish last season? We've got Notts County in 5th and Wrexham finished 2nd. So yeah, what's everybody's thoughts on that so far? But enough said on that front. Let's move on and meet the managers and owners of both Notts County and Wrexham. So now it's time to move on into meeting the managers and the owners of both Notts County and Wrexham. Notts County's manager being Luke Williams, whereas Wrexham's manager is none other than Phil Parkinson. Notts County's owner being Alexander and Christopher Reeds, whereas Wrexham is none other than the American duo in Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. Now, in question to this, is something I'll discuss later on, is Notts County's transfer business. But for now, guys, let's move on into the head-to-head stats between Notts County and Wrexham. So moving on into the head-to-head stats between Notts County and Wrexham. And to be honest, this is an interesting one, which I never thought I'd expect to see, especially on paper. Notts County having an outstanding 11 wins against Wrexham. There's been 6 draws altogether between the both sides, and Wrexham only coming out with 6 wins. Now, which that spells on paper, I mean, to be honest, it just spells out to me that Notts County on paper should be the favourites going into this game. However, it's Wrexham who currently sit top of the Vanarama National League. So what's everyone's thoughts on this so far? Let me know in the comments section down below. And now it's time to introduce the hosts in Notts County. So now it's time to introduce the host in Notts County, currently sitting second in the Vanarama National League. Summer signings being Macaulay, Langstaff and Chedwin Scott from Gateshead. We've got Geraldo Badrami and Sam Austin going from Kidderminster Harriers. Aidan Baldwin from MK Dons. Toby Adebayo Rowling from Ebbsfleet. Quaven Castro from West Brom on loan. And Brad Young from Leicester City on loan. Summer outgoings being Callum Roberts to Aberdeen. Alex Lacey to Hartlepool, Dion Kelly Evans to Boreham Wood, Alicia Sam to Patro Isden, Kyle Wotton to Stockport County, Lewis Knight to Gateshead, Frank Vincent to Aldershot Town on loan, Luther Mukandafe to Basford United on loan, and Michael Doyle has retired. Last result being the 3-1 win versus Altrincham, and the one to watch being Macaulay Langstaff. Now, we do have a predicted lineup for Notts County, so let's go and check out the formation and what the team is that I have predicted for Notts County versus Wrexham. So moving on into my predicted Notts County team. It's looking like it's a 3-4-2-1 formation or a 3-4-3, however you want to look at it on the paper. It's Slocum in goal, a back three of Brindley, Rawlinson and Cameron. We've got on the right, Quaven Castro. On the left, we've got Chickson, which puts Palmer and O'Brien in the central midfield, which puts Nomani on the right, Rodriguez on the left, and Macaulay Langstaff up front. What's everyone's thoughts on this lineup? Because formation-wise, looking into it, they will be having a go at Wrexham, and it's probably going to be a match-up in terms of the formation. Back three against forward three. And obviously, you know, you've got Wrexham's formation, which we will discuss in a minute. So yeah, now it's time to introduce the away side in Wrexham. So now it's time to introduce the opposition in Wrexham. Now, for the Wrexham fans, you'd love to see this league position because Wrexham, after winning against Oldham at the weekend, are now top of the Vanarama National League. Summer signings being Elliot Lee, Mark Howard, Jordan Tunnicliffe, Anthony Ford, Sam Dolby, Jacob Mendy, Rory Watson, Kai Calderbank Park, and Kai Evans has come through the academy. Some outgoings being Sean Brisley to Buxton, Quain Thomas to Sutton United, Dawid Shapaniak to Flint Town, Dan Jarvis to Gateshead, Jordan Ponticelli to Kingsland Town, Dior Angus to Harrogate Town, Tyler French to Dundee FC, and Jake Hyde going out on loan to Southend United, being released also being Lee Camp, David Jones, Cameron Green and Devontae Redmond. Last result being a 2-1 win versus Oldham away from home. A big massive thank you to that 90 plus 6 minute winner from Paul Mullen from the penalty spot, and also the one to watch being Paul Mullen. Now there's 3 lineups to introduce today. One from myself, one from RobRyanRed, and one from Tomi Caws. So let's start off with myself and let's see what I predicted for Notts County versus Wrexham. So the lineup that I have predicted for Notts County versus Wrexham on the Wrexham lineup is none other than this. Mark Howard in goal, a back three of Aaron Hayden, Ben Tozer, Max Clueworth. We've got Anthony Ford, right wing back, and Callum McFadzean, left wing back, which puts James Jones and Luke Young in the centre midfield, with Jordan Davis playing that number 10 role, with Paul Mullen and Ollie Palmer up front. And just to let you know, my overall one to watch is none other than Notts County's Macaulay Langstaff. Now let me know what you think about this lineup in the comment section down below. Let me know what changes you'd make. But now let's move on into RobRyanRed's predicted Wrexham lineup. So moving on into RobRyanRed's predicted Wrexham lineup, it is one to watch is also Notts County's Macaulay Langstaff. He's gone for Mark Howard in goal, Aaron Hayden, Ben Tozer and Max Clueworth at the back, which puts Anthony Ford a right wing back, Callum McFadzean a left wing back, with James Jones and Luke Young in that central midfield, which puts Elliot Lee as the number 10, with Paul Mullen and Ollie Palmer up front. Now I think with this, he's just made the one change, but I'll discuss that a bit further on the preview about my thoughts. But I've got one person left to predict the Wrexham lineup, which is Tomi Caws. So has he agreed with myself? Or has he agreed with RobRyanRed? Or has he made different changes of his own? We'll find out just in a second. So moving on into Tomi Caws' predicted Wrexham lineup. And he has agreed with RobRyanRed except there's one to watch is Elliot Lee, which puts the team at Mark Howard in goal, Aaron Hayden, Ben Tozer, Max Clueworth at the back, which puts Anthony Ford the right wing back, Callum McFadden left wing back with James Jones and Luke Young in the central midfield, which puts Elliot Lee at that number 10's position with Paul Mullen and Ollie Palmer up front. Now, going on to what I was saying before about the one change. Now, personally for me, I wouldn't change a winning team. So regardless whether Jordan Davis' performance had been impeccable or they've been absolutely rubbish, I wouldn't change the team. And I think the times where Elliot Lee's played, when he started, he's been better as an impact sub. And I think for a game like Notts County, having Elliot Lee on the bench, coming off the bench, giving that extra threat later on in the game, probably be better for Wrexham going forward. That's just my opinion anyway. Let me know down in the comment section down below what your predicted Wrexham lineup will be to face Notts County. But now's the time to move on into my score prediction for Notts County versus Wrexham. So my score prediction as seen on screen for you guys right now is none other than Notts County 1, Wrexham 1. I think a top of the table clash and a draw would honestly see it through. I mean, Wrexham weren't brilliant against Oldham, and don't get me wrong, I know Wrexham won and everything was fine and dandy. You see me jumping in the stands singing "We are top of the league" and all that stuff, and it was all fine and dandy whilst I was on the aisle. But if you look back at the performance, it wasn't the best performance until the last 11 minutes of the game. So that is all what matters in my opinion, though, is that the fact that Wrexham in the end did get the result, and Notts County second in the league, or at home advantage. And I think if it's anything like Chesterfield, then Wrexham will be in for the shock. It just depends on the change the Parkinson makes, whether he has a plan B up his sleeve, and whether the players respond to the result against Oldham Athletic at Boundary Park. But yeah, let me know what your score prediction is in the comments section down below. But now's the time to move on into the final piece of this preview. So moving on into the final piece of the preview, and I just want to say this, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody for watching the preview. And just a quick comment on Notts County's transfer, some outgoings and things like that. The fact that they obviously got rid of Carl Wotton to Stockport County and then brought in like Macaulay Langstaff from Gateshead. There was like players that are seen getting signed from like Kidderminster to the Gateshead, Ebbsfleet and things like that. And if you think about it, they're signing players from the National League North and South that are good enough or even better enough, to be able to take Notts County to the top two, at least anyway. But that's my thoughts on it all. I just want to say a big ups to Notts County for the transfer win that they've had, because it's a very successful one, especially for the calibre of players that they brought in as well. I don't think anybody would have thought that Notts County would have been up there for sure. I mean, unless you know them players off by heart. But for someone like myself, and you look on paper with the signs that they made, I genuinely thought that it would have been playoffs only in terms of like 5th, 6th. But it is what it is on that one. If you have enjoyed the preview, make sure you like, subscribe and tap that bell for more notifications. And I shall see you guys later on tonight for Notts County versus Wrexham.